I'm Myke Shrews,
And I'm Tivis,
and you're listening to
the Munster Cast.
episode 95. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters and Munsters adjacent. I'm, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend Tivis. So, Tivis, please tell everybody out in the Munsterverse. How you been, dude?
Dude, I didn't get a lot of sleep again last night, but this time it's for a good thing. My freaking nerd heart was joying out yesterday. I got spoilers for the upcoming DC United board game finally came out, and then the penultimate Doctor Who was so freaking good. Oh my god, dude. I'm so happy. It's a good weekend.
Awesome. Oh, I actually had some sleep, guys, so I have a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
So for once in the morning, yeah, that's awesome, dude. I have nothing else to really say before we dive into anything. So yeah,
Well, in that case,
I got nothing. So in that case, let's dive on into the dirty business. Oh wait, hold on. There we go.
It's always great when an episode starts with wait, hold on.
You can find the MunsterCast on all social media platforms via the MunsterCast. That is Facebook, Instagram, and anywhere else that you can find us. Just type on into the search bar the MunsterCast. You can also find us on YouTube via youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast and see our pretty ugly faces every Munster Monday, bro. You can also swing on over to TheMunsterCast.com. That is www.TheMunsterCast.com. And over there, you can find all of our content in one place. And that is everything. And there's also, for the Munsters Today fans, there's a Munsters Today tab up for top. Tells a little bit about the Munsters Today. And there's also some extras for each individual season that's going to have photos and stuff as we watch through. There's going to be photo dumps onto the site as well for you guys there. Yeah, there's also a little microphone icon on the right hand side of the screen where you can leave us a little voice message. We can play it on air if you would like. We don't have to though, so we've had a few where they didn't want us to. So yeah, just let us know what you think about our show, about the Munsters, what your fandom is like, everything else. Let us know all that fun stuff, guys. You can also swing on over to the tab that says store, or you can just go on to the website themunstercast.com/merch, and it takes you right to our merch shop where you can purchase some MunsterCast tees and other MunsterCast or Munster, I guess, themed shirts curated just for you guys out there, Munster fans and the MunsterCast fans alike. What else we got? Where are we at? You can also email us at themunstercast@outlook.com. That is themunstercast@outlook.com. And again, there you can email us anything Munster related that you guys want to tell us about, talk about, try to get on the show, all that fun stuff. So definitely take advantage of that, guys. Me and Tivis both have what's the word I'm looking for, Tivis? We're both connected to the email.
Yes.
Access. We both have access.
What you were going towards.
Yeah. We both have access to that email, so we both respond and everything, guys. Same with social media and all that fun stuff too. All right.
We also have a Patreon, which is, as always, just a tip jar. Got anything you want to throw our way to help support, keeping the website running, the RSS feed, or this recording? We greatly appreciate it, but times are tough and we understand that. So what helps us more is if you leave us a review on your podcatcher of choice, comment anywhere, star stuff like that bumps us, especially on iTunes, that bumps us up in the charts. People can see us more. We get more visibility. Also telling people about us, friends, family, random homeless people on the street who have no way to listen to us and ask, what the hell are you talking about? Give me $1. all that really helps us so much more. And also, I'm gonna do a quick shout out. The 11 days from when this drops, so it's coming up quick, is uh, Creepy Classics Monster Bash in Philly, right? Or I'm sorry, Pittsburgh. It's in Pittsburgh, at Marriott North, in Cranberry Township. So if you want to go and have a good time at a local convention that celebrates the classic, you know, not just Universal Monsters, but classic horror, definitely go and pick your tickets up if you're going to be in the area and check it out. Daniel Roebuck is scheduled to be there, so he's real nice, a very wonderful guy to talk to, and tell him the Munster Cast sent you.
Yeah, definitely, man. We just actually had some friends of ours go to Munster event as well lately.
Yeah,
where they got
I
to
was
meet Butch Patrick and stuff, which is cool.
I was invited, but due to my work schedule, I was not going to be conscious, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
I missed out. But hopefully, I'll get to see him at one of these weekend events. I'm telling you, people, local cons are the best. The big ones are fun, but the local smaller ones, it's so much more personal.
Yeah.
You get to actually interact with people because the lines aren't as crazy long. It's so good. Check them out.
Well, I also say too, as someone who's gone to a lot of the big ones as well, it does really just depend on the person for how big their lines are going to be, for sure.
Yeah, that's
but,
very true.
even some of the at the big cons, when there's like nobody at these people's tables, some of them kind of still want to rush you, which is kind of sad. I'm like, no one's here. Like, you just want to get back to playing, Candy Crush or something on your phone. If people still do that, anyways. Anyway, anything else? Oh yes, TheMunsterCast.com/sticker mule 10, guys. Go to that website. Take advantage. You get a $10 discount off of your first purchase there. We get a $10 kickback credit. We don't get any money for it, but it's a credit that goes onto our account so that we can purchase more stickers or keychains and stuff like that. But definitely take advantage of this, guys. It's TheMunsterCast.com/sticker mule10.
One thing we haven't talked about in a while is we do have links on our website to purchase the various box sets and movies and Marineland. Those are affiliate links. They kick us back literal pennies.
Yeah.
But if you want to use that, also, if you click it and just buy anything else off of Amazon, we also get, we do not see what you buy if you're worried about that. But it helps support the show in a little tiny bit, but it helps support us either way. So,
Ram. Yeah. And if you guys want to support us in another way, you can book me at cameo.com/Myke Shrews. I haven't said that in a minute.
Us?
It supports us because all that money is just going to go straight back into the show anyways. Let's face it. This is an expensive show.
I snuck it into the end of last episode.
But yeah, you guys can swing on over to cameo.com/MYKESHREWS. If you guys want to have me say something
outrageous,
stupid, outrageous, not like I don't do it already, but yeah. So definitely take advantage of that. Tivis, I have a guest with us today.
You do?
Hoppy from the Shazam family.
Oh, I didn't even notice you switched out your mic. For audio listeners, Myke always has a figure attached to his microphone. And he has swapped it out for Hoppy this week.
And for people who don't know who that is a
shame on you.
Humanoid rabbit that has the same powers as Shazam.
Or Captain Marvel. He's part of the Marvel family.
Yep.
The big cheese himself.
Yeah.
God, I love the Marvel family.
All right, so let's dive into this. What are we talking about today? We are
talking about Tell Em Herman Sent You, the season 2, episode 18, 112 overall, aired April 28th, 1990. Now, that is a full month and 25 days
Yeah.
since the last episode. So they took quite a break. As a lot of shows tend to do in the 80s, I'm noticing they seem to love to skip February. So I guess March Madness wasn't as crazy as it is now. Because a lot of shows now will skip all of March. Because they know they're just not going to get the views. But anyway, it was written by Paul Lander, which is a new name. He has written 7 projects. His first one was 3 episodes of Webster from 1987 to 88. Then he went on to this show. He wrote for Sherman Oaks, the all-new Mickey Mouse Club, California Dreams, The John Kerwin Show, The Corona Dialogues, a Dylan Bro... Oh, okay, that's a pandemic thing. Then there's also production of 3 things. 2006, he said, Lay It Off with Grace, U.S. of Ant in 2006, and then 2013, he produced Erica Enos, Smells Like Nerd Spirit. So I guess that's another documentary. So brand new name to this thing. Let's
And
see.
which name was that again?
Paul Lander.
Oh, Lander. Okay, yeah. All right.
Then Bonnie Franklin is back to direct. So, I don't think I need to say any more about her. We got as much as we're going to get. Yeah. But
she also is the producer at the moment too, right?
I haven't paid too much attention to the producers.
Okay.
I'll be honest. No one cares about the producers. No, it's true. You can keep putting your names on the posters all you want. Nobody cares. We have actually 3 guests this week, even though only one of them was given credit in the actual TV show. So we'll start with that one. Stanley Ralph Ross as Mr. Goodberry. The trifecta is complete. We finally have all 3 of them, long before Rob Zombie did it in his movie. So it's pretty clear where he got the idea for 3 partners. Let's see. He actually has writing credits as well as producing. So he's got 4 producing credits. I'll start there. He produced the Calacas, Gold of Amazon, Women for the Love of It, and Carlo's Wake between the 70s and 90s. 42 writing credits, which, is incredible. He's wrote for things such as The Man from U.N.C.L.E., The Monkees. That's cool. Wonder Woman, Who's Afraid of Diana Prince, the 66 Batman show. Well, okay, this guy is, becoming one of my favorites. He's in all the nerdy shit. Monster Squad, 10 episodes of that. How awesome.
Oh.
He wrote for the 70s Wonder Woman show. To Oz, The Making of a Classic was the last thing he wrote in 2009. As for his acting credits, he debuted as a folk singer in My Favorite Martian in 1964. So
like the TV show.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah.
He also starred in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., so I wonder if that's how he got the right for it, because that happens a lot. He was in 2 episodes of Batman. That's awesome. Two-parters. He was in Sky Heist, Far Out Space Nuts. Okay, he was in Monster Squad as well. Oh, he did avoid Dr. Superstein for 16 episodes of Plastic Man. We need Plastic Man to come back. He's such an underrated character. And for people who say he's one of those lame new heroes, talking to a friend specific here, even though he probably doesn't listen, he is older than Wonder Woman. So
I wouldn't say that because McFarlane, you're talking about Plastic Man from DC, correct?
yeah.
Yeah, McFarlane, who does toys and stuff, guys. Spawn, he's most notably known for Spawn. He does a lot of he does the DC line now too, and they actually just did a Build-A-Figure for Plastic Man, and people are clamoring to get that damn thing.
Yeah, no, I know that.
So
This was me arguing with him that saying that DC characters besides the Trinity don't matter. No, okay, you're talking to a DC.
what would be the
here.
Trinity for him
So.
then? What's the Trinity for that guy? What, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman?
Yeah, that's the DC Trinity.
Come on, Green Lantern, Flash.
Which one though? Also, which one?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, there's tons of DC characters. People who poo-poo on DC need to get to know them. There's tons of amazing shows out there that really show off more of their character. Like, they've had Batman pushed down our throats for far too long. People have forgotten the amazing range of characters that exist beside him. But
yeah,
back to talking about Stanley Ralph Ross.
Yep. Sorry.
He was in. He did a voice in Richie Rich, the cartoon. He did. Quasimodo for the Incredible Hulk, 13 episodes of voice acting, different roles, The Facts of Life, Super Friends. This guy was in. He was in the 88 Superman, the real Ghostbusters, Myke.
Great show.
And he's got a voice too that projects. The last thing he acted in was Babe Pig in the City as a pit bull in 1998. So he's done a ton of voice work. Spider-Man the animated series too. Oh, okay.
And this is the guy who played Goodberry?
Yes.
Okay.
Which, I mean, you could understand why he would do voice work with how he sounds.
Yeah.
Like, okay. So on to our uncredited people who shockingly exist on IMDb. Whoever added them, thank you.
Well, I like that one of them. I like that.
You know one of them?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to start with Frank Patton III. Is that the one you know?
Yep.
Okay.
It's the one I recognize anyways. I'll say that. How about that?
All right. So he's got 44 acting credits to him. First one listed. What's that?
I was going to say he's reoccurring in the Munsters Today. It's almost the same position.
Wait, is this one of the guys from the Devil episode?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. So we've already talked about this guy.
Yeah, he's one of the repo men from the Lewis's crew.
Oh, that's awesome. And he'll be back again for an episode next season. So that's cool. All right. So let's move on to the next uncredited person then. Wayne Quimby as another repo man. And he was in 4 things listed here. The first one was in 1989, The Favorite, as Chief Janissary.
4 credited things he has on IMDb.
Yes,
because this doesn't even show up on IMDb, does it?
This show does.
It does?
Yeah, because the next one is Life Goes On, and then this episode, and then an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Okay.
The 94 version.
Gotcha.
So it's great to finally have uncredited people listed. If you could do that for more of the episodes that we've already talked about, please, whoever did this.
Yeah.
It's just so frustrating that how little information there is about this show. Convert it to disc and release it already. Sure, the quality is not great, but preserve it.
Here's the thing. So I'm watching Boy Meets World right now on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
The quality
that's the sitcom you guys are on?
No, I just turned it on last night.
Oh, that's just you personally.
Yeah, just myself. My kids probably don't care. So I've been watching it on Disney Plus, And I mean, my youngest, who does watch sitcoms with me, does watch it with me. But I was watching it, and I noticed last night the quality of some of the early episodes, anyways, is very meh in comparison. Like, there's a spot where like the footage went like it changed colors several times, and this is on Disney Plus. So I'm like, if people aren't complaining about that, I'm not complaining about it. I just it's something I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, come on, just drop this stuff that we have. Even
Yeah,
if you don't want to upgrade it, at least put this out on your streamers.
yeah. And for the love of God, do not use AI to try and upscale it. We've seen how terrible it is with Aliens. You ruined that Blu-ray. Dude, have
Wait,
you
what?
seen how terrible it is? It's so bad. It like redraws their faces from a distance so they look insane, unhuman. Um, it
Like
made their
the
skin look plastic the entire movie. The lighting is horrible. Like,
what did they
this
do
is
this
going to
for?
be what?
What did they do that for?
To upscale it into 4K, even
To
though it
upscale
wasn't
what?
filmed Aliens.
Oh,
It wasn't
it
filmed in anything that 4K can improve upon. Like the
was filmed
color,
on 35 millimeter film, wasn't it?
well, the color range that they used in it, no point in the movie does it reach that.
Mm,
It's gonna go down with Terminator 2 as one of the worst upscale things. And the terrible thing is, this is going to be the version we can watch on stream now, because they always replace the movies with the newest one.
yeah. This is
So
why I have the movies.
yes, anyone out there who's on the fence about getting that Aliens Blu-ray, don't boycott the hell out of it. They destroyed it. I'm not kidding. I will share a video on our socials. This will be like a few weeks ago now for all of you, but I'm gonna do it before I forget. Of someone going through and talking about how terrible it looks.
Mm,
So look, if you missed that, scroll through our feed, you'll find it. We don't talk that
yeah.
much.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah. I just saw what you texted me. Yeah, that's my little rant over.
All right, awesome, guys. So I think it's time, Tivis.
It's time.
It's time. It's time. It's synopsis time. Oh, it's time. Synopsis time. Had to go a little grease right there for me. This week we are talking about Tell Em Herman Sent You, aired April 28th, 1990, as Tivis previously stated. On this episode of The Munsters Today, Herman finds himself on yet another emotional roller coaster of a side quest as he battles a good man to bury. Determined to reclaim the House of Herman, he sets off to start his own family-owned business to conquer a dream he's held on to for centuries. His journey promises to make every viewer both cheer and cringe at what he encounters. Meanwhile, Grandpa has found himself a new job as a canvasser, becoming yet another old person taking the jobs of young teens everywhere. During all of this, Lily is trying to dig up some dinner while Marilyn is in a succubus slumber after feeding on the male cast of the terrible teens. While will Herman's dream of working for himself come to fruition, or will he fall apart at the seams? Will Eddie rejoice in his father's attempts, or will he sleep his way through the commercial break? Will Grandpa show his age by being compared to Dick Clark? Will the night crew be able to dig up graves, or is Herman the gate man of the good burying night crew? And will chaos ensue? Find out this week on The Munsters Today. Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell you were awake this time.
I hope everybody sees what I did there at the end.
If you're not watching our video version yet, why not? All right, shall we jump?
I said all three of their names at the end.
You did.
I did.
You ready to jump into this?
No, I'm done. I'm over with it. The show's over. All right, let's dive into this, dude.
All right. So we open with Lily and Eddie sitting at the table as Grandpa comes up to Eddie for his horoscope. Grandpa, what is going on? It distracted me. Grandpa is apparently a Scorpio like me. So his horoscope is, quote, someone who has been annoying you for years finally disappears from your life. At that moment, Herman bursts through the front door, and Grandpa takes the paper and rips it in half before sitting down. Herman is all happy, and Grandpa asks if more change fell out of a customer's pocket. No, he was elected spokesman for his crew. I guess they're unionized now. His first action was to lower the quota from 12 holes to 8 holes so the guys in the night shift could get home sooner to watch TV. Mm-hmm. I did not jot down what they're going to home to watch, but apparently they really want to watch it. So Lily's like, how'd it go? Well, I told Goodberry to do it or lose me as an employee. So he raised it to 15 holes in response.
And at this point, as soon as he mentioned Goodberry by name, I was like, sweet. Are we actually going to get an appearance of Goodberry?
I know. I thought the same.
Because they never mention the boss's name unless that boss is showing up, really.
That's true, yeah. Although they did mention Graves in the... was it Graves? Or it might have been Goodman in the Graves episode, and he didn't show up.
Goodberry.
Goodman's the one with the deadbeat dad, right?
That's Gateman.
That's Gateman. Okay. Oh, this is Goodberry. What's wrong with me?
You're mixing two names together.
I am. Gateman was mentioned in the Graves episode.
Yeah, that was after we had already seen him, though.
Yeah. Well, Herman tells Goodberry to rethink it or find a new head gravedigger. And Lily's like, so that's when he backed down? No, that's when he accused me of making a threat, to which I said, it came out right then. So I'm like, I'm loving this Herman. This right here is good. So, right. Needless to say, Herman's fired. Lily is upset by this, asking if the other guys rallied around him. Nope, they denied ever knowing him. And Grandpa asked what his plans is now. So Herman goes over to a drawer to open to get something to Grandpa's dismay, and he pulls out a folder marked House of Herman.
Yes. The House of Herman. Oh, come on, thing, load up.
He has been planning to open his own parlor. That's amazing. Great, Paul. Audio listeners, you're missing out yet again. He's planning to open his own parlor anyway. So this is just a perfect excuse to. Grandpa isn't sure taking on those three is a smart idea, but Herman isn't having it. There's plenty of room for a second parlor. Also, they're calling it a parlor again, which is a first for this version of the show.
What were they calling it before?
They were just the mortuary.
Okay.
Or morgue. I've been the only one calling it a parlor this whole time because I refuse to let go.
So I don't want it to sound so morbid.
Yeah. What do these three have that Herman doesn't? Well, they got brand recognition. Multiple locations, it seems. Lily adds that when people think of death, they think Goodberry, Gateman, and Graves. Or Saturday Night on CBS, as Grandpa puts it. The great dig. But no, this is Herman's dream.
I see what you did there, dig.
This is Herman's dream, and he isn't going to give up on it just like that. Grandpa calls him the Martin Luther Munster, and the scene just ends there. It was abrupt and weird.
Well, yeah, because he's funny. Like, I have a dream. I have a dream to be my own boss. I have a dream to live up to my full potential. a dream to make the House of Herman to live up to. I
Mhm.
have a dream.
Yeah. It's a
Thank you,
good joke,
Martin Munster.
but it's just an abrupt end to it.
Yeah.
Like, if they would have cut back to Herman's reaction to that, I think it might have been a little smoother, but maybe they had to save time.
Yeah.
Okay. The next scene, we see Lily, Grandpa, and Eddie coming into the house of Herman. It's an old bar. At least it looks like an old bar at first. We figure out that's not what it is,
Mm.
and it
Can I
barely has any room.
say for
Mhm.
Herman, I feel him. I feel it because I'm
Oh, I
always
know you. You are an entrepreneur at heart.
so good for you, Herman.
Yeah,
Screw the big man.
and honestly, if you have the opportunity to at least try for something,
Mhm.
go for it. Obviously, don't put yourself in the hole over it,
Yeah.
but
Oh, I
give
talked
it
to
a go.
somebody. I was just talking to someone yesterday about a possible business thing. I can't mention it yet, but
That was me.
no,
Oh, a
no,
different one. Okay.
different one. Um,
You
I
have your
talked to.
hands in so many pots.
Yes, I do, and I just want them in my wife. I mean, uh, I hope everyone can hear Tivis's. Just
Do we have the explicit rating already?
do we have what?
The explicit rating already?
Yes, we do.
Oh, thank God. I'm just losing my glasses. Go ahead.
I broke Tivis already. Awesome. Um, but no, we we were talking about something, and I straight up told the guy because he was saying something about if you might as well take the risk, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. What do? Lose a bunch of money? And I was like, well, if you do it right, you lose someone else's money, and not your own.
That's very true. That's how all of the CEOs do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I may go
It's too
bankrupt,
early.
but who's out of the money? Me or the bank? 'Cause,
So, yeah. Herman took this place because it's long and narrow like a coffin.
yeah.
It
Also, first
this
of all, just in case there's some younger people out there, don't do that. That's bad for your credit and stuff. So don't go bankrupt over something so stupid, especially if you have a family. All right, now continue.
I hope we don't have any younger people listening after that first comment. Uh,
I meant younger as in their early 20s and stuff, like that younger.
my statement still stands.
I'm old, okay? I'm an old man. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, as Myke said in the synopsis, I skimmed over it earlier, but Marilyn is nowhere to be seen in this episode at all. Again.
Succubus slumber.
So I wonder if this was one of those ones filmed while they were forcing her to go through her change.
Yeah, this is 2 in a row now.
Yeah. Which
After the Terrible Teens episode, so I'm assuming she went back and just ate them.
all right. Yeah. That's Munster Cast lore now.
Marilyn's a succubus. Prove me wrong. Get that stupid meme of the dude.
So
Prove me wrong.
This place was a donut shop called the Donut Hall. He points to an inflatable tube that says the old name, saying he wants to repaint it to look like a wreath. And I'm like, why not just go buy a wreath? So Grandpa asked if it's glazed or jelly.
Repurposing, Tivis. Repurposing. Small businesses do that a lot.
You could make. I'm sure Lily could whip up a wreath for him, no problem, with stuff in their backyard. So Grandpa asked if it's going to be glazed or jelly in a very serious tone. This man clearly does not mess around when it comes to donuts. I respect that.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing at your laugh now. Herman says it's a great location. It's off a busy intersection with no stoplight. Think about all the off-street businesses as a business that can happen as a car skids outside and Herman gets excited, but no crash. Oh well, maybe next time.
Herman is the ambulance chaser of the funeral parlors now.
Which he kind of has to be because he's an upstart.
I guess.
You gotta get your, you gotta get your drum up your business somehow. So, Lily expresses some doubts.
Hire a
and
hitman.
Eddie plays with the balloons in the background. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Herman references the Cosby Show, saying Claire would support Cliff. Grandpa says that show is not realistic anyway. Who cares?
Of course she'd support him. She'd be drugged.
Lily finally agrees that all right, you know what? This is your dream. You should go for it. And then they kiss. We hit the commercial. Come back.
And Grandpa's like, you screwed up, you dumb daughter of mine.
Yeah, yes. He hasn't even glued a smile on his first stiff yet, which is a morbid line that made me laugh.
Yeah.
Lily tells him to shut up and help for once.
Yeah, he's like, Lily, you made a big mistake supporting Herman and his stupid business. And as she's pouring her tea, she says, instead of putting Herman down, why don't you do something to help for once?
Yeah. So that's when Herman comes home. He spent all day in a coffin trying to imagine he was dead, how they think and feel. Grandpa begins digging into him, and Lily gives him one of them dagger eyes that we've seen in recent years. The one that Rob Zombie did so well in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So Grandpa changes tact. He's like, hey, you need a consultant to help out. And Herman's like, well, that would be great, but who do you have in mind? Well, someone with a keen sense of business, youthful looks, and is about 400 years old. Dick Clark. Which is an amazing joke. Dick Clark, you are truly missed every New Year, sir. But no, it's Grandpa. Duh.
Dick Clark isn't dead. He's just in slumber, too.
Rest in peace, Dick Clark.
Pieces.
At the parlor, Herman is crouching by the window and yells to Grandpa that there's someone in all black with a veil heading their way. What do you think she wants? Well, either you have a customer or it's a person wearing a hijab.
Yeah, he says she's where is it? Where's my note at? Oh, what does she want? 2 guesses. Either you have a customer or she's an Iranian.
I wasn't sure if that was insensitive or not, so I wouldn't say.
That's what they said.
I know that's what they said, but
so who cares?
Well, I mean, it's on your head, not mine.
We're quoting the show, dude.
There's a lot of shows I will not quote.
You think I care that it's on my head?
I dare you to quote some of Love and Hip Hop.
I will. What do I got? I ain't got.
Have fun navigating that racial stuff. So
shit is shit, bro.
Herman has no idea what to say. He's never dealt with a standing customer before. And Grandpa just tells him, look, it's sensitivity. It's the key where is Rich coming from? What? I have no idea what I typed here. I think I got distracted when I was finishing this note.
Okay. It says sensitivity is key to these situations. Now just sit back and watch me do this as I do it.
Thank you.
And then she comes in and he's like, oh, how nice a death in the family.
Yeah, he's so happy, smiling. And it puts her off, so she walks right back out.
Oh, it scares her. And she's like, oh my God, this is so insensitive. And I'm not sure if she runs because of what he says or because he's dressed like Dracula.
Or the creepy smile on his face.
Could you imagine, though, going to a funeral home or funeral parlor or whatever, and it's themed. Like everybody there is just dressed like a horror villain, like not a horror villain, like a classic, like a vampire, Frankenstein, werewolf, stuff like that. Like the pallbearers are like dressed like,
Throw in the fact that 2 weeks ago it was a donut shop.
right.
Yeah,
Maybe she
that
was
would be
just going to
crazy.
get donuts.
You know what? Somebody make that. I guarantee families will use it. I would tell my family to.
A themed one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have themed weddings. Why not themed
Oh,
go out?
I'm sure there are. I'm sure there are themed
There has
ones.
to be.
That has to be, bro.
Yeah.
Like a themed, like a wrestling funeral where your casket's in the ring. That'd be
Hopefully
awesome.
not run by Thomas Clock III. It's a real person. The lady, yeah. So Grandpa is all flustered now, and he sees a bunch of papers laying there. So he goes over and picks them up. He's, what are these? And it reads, "Death is annoying enough without having to make reservations. Free pickup and delivery. Call House of Herman today." He's like, "Yeah, I was gonna have Eddie drop that on the windshield of every ambulance in town." And Grandpa's like, "You know what? I'll do it. I'll deliver it by air. I need to get out of here anyway."
Yeah. And at this point, I'm wondering if Grandpa's actually going to do it, or if he's
just
taking them to hide
excuse.
them. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point too. I didn't think of that because when he flies away as a bat, they're not there.
No. No, they're not. But yet another old man taking the job of teens. I'm saying this right now, Grandpa. You're a horrible, horrible man. You're taking their jobs.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Continue. This is going to be an interesting episode, just so you know.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's a lot of shit that happens later, too.
And we're both awake. So a man walks into the place. Who is it, Mike?
Man. Oh, it is Mr. Goodberry.
It is. And this is where I have the Trinity is finally complete on screen.
Yeah.
Goodberry
walks in, and I just get, from the way this guy talks, I'm like, wow, seems like he's in the mafia.
Yeah, I didn't notice it during this scene here, but later on when he comes back around, this is a very tall dude. Like he is almost Herman's height without the shoes.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
He kind of reminds me of the one from what's the guy? Is it Penn from Penn and Teller?
Oh yeah, a bit, yeah.
Yeah. I had the double take.
Teller. Penn is the one who can't speak.
Yeah.
Teller. Or refuses to speak unless it's acting.
It's acting.
No. Unless he's acting, he'll talk.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So he reminded me of Teller because as soon as I saw him, I had to double take and make sure it wasn't him. I was like, wait, that can't be him. But he was around at that time. So,
yeah. He comments on the size of the place, but Herman says, look, it's a very efficient building. My burner is next door. Perhaps you've heard of it, the MV5000. It burns, it turns, it slices, it dices, and on slow days I can roast chickens for the place next door.
Yeah.
So Goodberry is so condescending. Just absolute fucking sleep. Why are all of his bosses such jerks?
The best one was Mr. Graves.
Yeah. Which he was just scolding him for taking a sick day, which is any boss that does that, they're jerk. Yeah. He's basically telling Herman that if he stops now, he might consider taking him back. At that point, another man walks in. Herman tells Goodberry to get lost.
And the guy's a customer.
Like, it's a pretty big order. It's like, no order's too big for the House of Herman. And like, I know exactly where this is going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, Look at the coffin next to you before you open your mouth, but too late. He wants 7 dozen donuts. Is this for all the really big fat people that were storming the police station?
Yeah.
By the way,
100 million fat people with guns.
by the way, the inner tube above the door is now black, and I can only see Herman, but I presume it says House of Herman. I think we get a better shot of it later.
Yeah.
It didn't become a wreath, but he did repaint it.
So then we go commercial break from that back to Grandpa's lab, but where he's sitting in front of Sam, which his computer doesn't talk to him anymore. Sad.
No.
He must have turned that function off. He's like,
he killed the AI.
Nope. He was like,
It
look,
complimented him too much.
We're turning you off because you told me to make a deal with the devil.
AI.
Sam was not AI.
Sam was AI.
Sam was not AI.
That was AI. AI is the devil. AI tells you to make deals with the devil.
Don't tell people that, because then there's going to be all the people out there that love the devil that are just going to love AI.
No, they hate AI too. Everyone hates AI, even the devil.
That's not true.
Yeah, it's not. It would be funny if there was a universal thing that everyone just gave the middle finger to, though. It's like, no, this sucks. Everyone agrees. You know what? There actually is. Printers. Why is it that all the technology in the world has advanced so much and printers haven't changed? They still suck.
I got no answer for that, guys.
Exactly.
I'm just going to let Tivis rant about his old man problems.
Oh, man, problem. This is a problem with everyone. I have hit the mic like 3 times now. I'm sorry. Let me just move it slightly away from me.
You know, if you don't point it out all the time, no one actually cares or notices.
They hear the bumps. I know they hear the bumps. I see the spike in audio.
All right. So Grandpa's going through and he's like, how can you run a business with records like these?
Yeah. They're on toe tags, for crying out loud. What kind of burial costs under $100? Oh, that was Carl the Weasel's funeral. All I had to do was dump him in the swamp.
Herman's getting rid of bodies now for the mafia.
I guess it's work. And he's like, okay, let's not tell Lily about this $50 to Trixie. And he's like, no. That was a poodle. It went in a freak frisbee accident.
Yeah. Grandpa's over here trying to start stuff, bro.
Yeah. So Herman now wants to know, what are my expenses? So Grandpa does some calculations. He's like, well, the next funeral will be for the House of Herman.
Yeah. And Herman's like, interesting. What does it mean? Well, it means your next funeral will be the House of Herman.
I forgot that. He's looking at the screen like, numbers. So,
and then this is where we find out that let me see here. Goodberry is undercutting. Yeah, Goodberry is undercutting. Wow. All of his things. If he does a buy one get one, Goodberry does like buy 3 get 3, or whatever.
Yeah. He says, he's like, I'm doing all I can. Look, I even had power lunch with the executioner at the state penitentiary.
How much money do you think Gateman, Goodberry, and Graves are losing because they're trying to undercut Herman's low stuff?
Do the other partners know how much Goodberry is spending?
Right.
That's a good question.
Because this happens where companies will purposely do this. They will 100% undercut the lower people to put them out of business while putting themselves in a little bit of financial issues.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only short term for them, because they know once those smaller businesses go out, they can boost their shit back up, their rates and everything to tenfold if they want, because then there's really no competition.
Yeah,
so
like Disney's doing.
It's a horrible business ethics that at most big corporations do. I've seen it happen. I've been witness to it. So yeah. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's kind of crazy. I know
Yeah.
there's a comic book franchise store that went around town here, and they go around a lot of places, and they buy up all the small comic book shops
And then close
and
them.
close them down, and then open up one establishment with their name on it and stuff. um they actually tried to buy out my comic book shop that I go to all the time, and he refuses. He refuses. And then for shits and giggles, he gave them like a crazy number of like $5 million. He's like, you can have it for 5 million. He's like, if they take it, they take it, and I'll sell it to them for 5 million, and then I'll just open up another shop anyway because they'll have 5 million. But yeah, he refuses to sell out to them,
Yeah.
which is kind
No,
of cool.
don't, because
Oh,
literally, if
he
you're
makes
in,
his comic shop, I think, does better all around because he actually has like artists and stuff that shows up there
Mhm.
and does signings and all this fun stuff. It's a great shop. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you're into like a bunch of board games or video games and stuff like that, IGN recently made a purchase of a bunch of other news. IGN is a gaming pop culture news site.
Mhm.
They purchased a bunch of a company that owned a ton of different outlets for things like D&D, tabletop, stuff like that.
Yeah.
These sites were all doing well. They were pumping out the news as normal. They had a steady revenue stream, but the owners wanted the money. And they were like, "Hey, you'll just have some new owners, nothing will change." Literally the next day, they laid off all of the employees at every single outlet.
Oh yeah. That always not always
Yeah.
happens, but a lot of times happens like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see. But yeah. So
Yeah.
I am kind of curious how much Goodberry is giving away in revenue and stuff like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
But
profits and all that, or is he just taking it from his pay at the moment so that the other ones don't suspect him, so that they don't kick him out?
it maybe. Maybe.
And
Uh,
how much money? I am curious, really, now because of these guys, all three of them, knowing all three of them, how much money did Gateman use of company money for bad things like Vince McMahon? So,
oh
just,
no. I
so yeah,
all three of
think
his
about
owners
that.
are terrible people, but they're
I
honestly,
think
if you think about it,
Graves is probably the better of the three.
he is, but he's still a jerk. If you think about it, they are the three stereotypes of CEOs, though. You got the dude who uses funding to do
Whatever.
scandalous things. You
Yeah.
got the guy who is overbearing on his employees' lives, and then
Mhm.
you have this guy who is just a condescending jerk whose entire existence is to make them miserable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could. I think we need to make a shirt with all three of them.
Yeah. But back to the show.
Yes.
Grandpa's like, "Hey, you're thinking too small," and Herman's like, "I don't know what to do. I lower prices, he undercuts me. I get flyers, he gets brochures. I offer 2-for-1 discounts, he offers entire families off."
Yeah.
So Grandpa's like, "All right, you need to be more devious in tactics." And Herman's like, "You mean lie, cheat, and deceive?" Right. Advertising.
Herman.
Yeah.
So now we go. I don't even know how long ahead after this is. The
Yeah.
time is weird here. But we get it's like Herman's
Four
getting
in
the
the
whole
morning.
family. Yeah, Herman's getting the whole family
Oh,
together. It turns out it's 4 in the morning now. And the whole family isn't there because Marilyn's still
Marilyn's
in her
missing.
succubus slumber.
Yeah.
So
Lily is so unhappy to be awake, and Eddie is complaining that he needs his rest because the full moon is tomorrow.
I'm gonna find every picture I can of Marilyn sleeping and make that shirt. Succubus slumber.
I'm gonna find every picture of Marilyn sleeping. That's a creepy statement.
Yes, it is.
And that tone doesn't make it better.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
How you
So
doing?
I got a bunch of this verbatim. What happens in the commercial?
Okay.
So the commercial starts. He's off center the entire time, just so
Mhm.
everyone knows. Okay, so there we go. Quote: "If you're dead, don't touch that dial, and if you're alive, you'll wish you were dead. Here at the house of here at the house of Herman, or yeah, wow, I screwed that up, and that's exactly what he did too. Here at the house of Herman, we've got deals to make you sorry you're alive. Check out our special mahogany coffin with silk interior and mountain view.
And there's a picture of a
Hey,
mountain in there.
yeah. Hey, maybe our sea burial package is for you. Pure oak box, waterproof interior. Your choice of ocean." Herman can't get the coffin open, and Eddie on the couch. "Don't worry.
Yeah.
Look into our pauper surprise. For $25, we toss you into an empty lot from a fast moving vehicle." This is where Grandpa pops out. "I liked it so much, I decided to stay."
Which I don't understand. What does he mean? He decided to stay. He decided to stay in the grave or in the coffin or alive. I don't know. What do you mean?
A house of Herman, right off Elm Street, under the giant donut. And the camera pans to the inner tube, and I'm like, that can't be what you're talking about. People can't see that. Remember,
Yeah,
tell him Herman sent you, and we'll throw in a wreath absolutely free. Are you just trying to get rid of your inner tube?
it looked like it. And then
Ugh.
and we cut back in and Herman's like, Goodberry, eat your heart out.
Yeah, they're all celebrating.
Cue Goodberry Gateman and Graves commercial.
Yeah, and it's like a movie trailer. It's showing like even Eddie wakes up for this. It's got
Yeah.
mountains, relaxing music, scenery. And the only thing it says the entire time is the tagline: Goodberry, Gateman, and Graves, because forever is a long, long, long time.
Yeah. It's like the cheapest commercial you could possibly think of, but
But
it's
it's
so
so much better done.
serene. I wouldn't say it's much better done. It's just imagery, man.
I
Don't
would rather
under
watch that than Herman's. Like, dude, we have a local guy who decided to, I don't even know what it's for because I turned it off, but he filmed something on the side of a highway, and you just hear every car that goes by. And I'm like, if you can't afford the filter out the noise, don't do this.
Yeah. We just saw a local commercial the other day and it was so you could tell it was geared towards men because it was like in a gym and then all these hot girls were there and it was like they were like, well, how do you get those girls? Like, well, I eat here at this restaurant only. That's all it was. That's it.
I'm
It was
trying to find.
it was
Oh,
an
go ahead.
ad for a restaurant, and it was like, this makes no sense. Why are you even in a gym? Why not just be at the restaurant? I don't understand people, man.
There's a local place in Texas. I'm trying to find. I can't think of the name. But I'm sure if you guys look, they do like movie parodies. I think it's for a plumbing business.
Yeah,
um, they blew up around when Marvel's Infinity War came out. They did one where the entire team like gathered together to fix this pipe or something.
yeah.
It's they're not high budget, but my God, are they so well done? They're entertaining. They're crazy. I'm like, why can't we get that here? Here, we just got a guy who walks up and slaps a fridge.
But see, you say that, and then I would be wondering why does it take so many plumbers to fix one pipe?
Because it's the Thanos of pipes.
Clearly, they're not that great of plumbers if it takes so many of them to fix one pipe.
I forget they're like plumbers assemble.
Now, if they were like doing a bunch of plumbing stuff and they like each had like a different tool and they
Mhm.
said like Captain Plumber with our powers combined, do a Captain Planet thing. But get like a Captain Plumber come out with a giant like plunger and stuff.
Now you just make me want to rewatch the Don Cheadle Captain Planet fan film.
That's awesome one.
It is. Yeah, but
anyone who doesn't know what Captain Planet is going to be like, what the hell are they talking about?
If you don't know Captain Planet, well, I guarantee majority of our listeners know Captain Planet.
To be fair, though, try finding Captain Planet on a streaming service. It's so weird to me that show is not.
Hanna-Barbera in general is like you can't find anything.
Well, it's so weird to me that Captain Planet 1 wasn't on the docket for like a remake, like a live action remake in this like current era of Save the Planet stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2, you can't find the cartoon in this same current climate of Save the Planet stuff. I'm like, how is this not? Maybe there's some stuff being said in Captain Planet that they don't want people to remember because it was more realistic than the shit they're trying to feed us. Anyways, that's my conspiracy.
Mm-hmm. No, you're not wrong. Not wrong at all.
I think they're just trying to hide some truth from everybody. Instead, they want like 14-year-olds to go and tell everybody to save the planet. Or however old that chick was. I don't remember. I don't even.
Gertrude. No, that's not her name.
Grunberg. I don't know. Grinberg.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't even on my radar enough to remember the name, dude. So that might piss people off, but I'm just saying it wasn't even. I have to raise kids before I worry about the planet.
If that pisses you off, you got problems. I don't remember my neighbor's name, and I talk to him at least once a week.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Anyway, getting back to this show. So Eddie goes, that's the way to go. Mm-hmm. Grandpa is sorry he has eternal life, and Lily is just crying. Herman sighs in defeat. Well, at the parlor, then a day or two later, Grandpa's going over his money, and Herman, you're broke.
Yeah.
Herman wishes he was dead, and Grandpa goes, well, at least you'd have a customer then.
Yeah. He's like, you should be so lucky. Then you'd have a customer.
Herman says, hey, it's all right. We could close this place up and I'll just work from the house. And Grandpa's like, you might as well call it a hut with how much you're hemorrhaging here.
Well, he should have, first of all, started from his house before even getting a location. At least to get a name out there. Yeah.
Yeah. They totally could have done the embalming and stuff down there. Grandpa wouldn't care.
Where the hell did they do embalming here?
Next door in the furnace room.
It's too hot.
Or maybe in the jelly glaze area. Herman then says...
for people who don't get that, it's funny because when you put jelly in the donut, you're just shoving a needle in there, injecting, and that's what they do when they embalm you. They just sorry, I had to explain Tivis's joke because it's funny to me. Because now I'm just imagining accidentally injecting them with jelly.
Oh God. This has become a very morbid episode.
Could you imagine that though? Your body gets injected with like donut jelly instead of embalming fluid. What's that smell? Grandpa smells really good.
Why is the dog eating his arm? So Herman then says, look at the Wright brothers. Nolan Ryan, Stevie Wonder. Some people shouldn't quit. And Grandpa counters with some people who should. Chara, Wayne Newton, Dan Quayle. Grandpa then goes off to take a nap in the coffin.
Yeah. And as soon as he does that, in walks in
the Repo Men.
In pink. Hot pink. They're in hot pink jumpsuits, bro.
Yeah.
I don't understand why hot pink would be a repo color, but
they had it on set.
Yeah,
yeah,
they're Barbie repo men.
They begin by taking his fake trees, and then Lily comes in with his lunch that he forgot at home, asking what's going on. He's like, "Oh, they brought me the wrong ones. Yeah, I wanted the oak anyway."
Yeah.
So then they come back in, take the
ficus
coffin.
out of here.
Grandpa's sleeping in,
But
and he
they
comes out
also,
like, "The fuck, what's going on?"
yeah, they also took a garbage can too. Like they just took a garbage can and a tree when they walked out the first time. Then they come back
They
for the
missed the
coffin.
garbage can.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herman's like, "Oh, I wanted the mahogany one, not that one."
Mm-hmm.
And Lily's like, "Look, it's time to stop, all right?" And by the way, in the background, the repo guys are struggling to get this coffin out the door.
Yeah. I wonder if they were actually struggling to get it out the door
It
too.
looks like they were, yeah. Lily Herman comes clean, and then the guys come back and grab the other coffin. Before they do, they check to make sure it's open or empty.
Empty, which they had no problem opening it, and Herman couldn't even open that one.
Yeah,
So
that's
what
true.
the heck, bro?
Sad music is playing over this entire thing,
Mm-hmm.
and
They like
believed
have it sad, but like comedic at the same time with the repo
the
guys.
repo guys. Yeah, they're trying to keep it light.
Yeah.
Lily tells him, "Look, I believed in you before, and I still believe in you now. We can get through this together." And Herman's like, "Well, at least I have some dignity, so why not?" And then the repo men come back and grab his jacket.
Yep. Which we then find out Herman has no sleeves on his white shirt.
Yeah. Which is California, so it's hot. So, you know.
But he has sleeves on his red shirt. He has sleeves. He has like
he does.
shirt
Yeah, he
underneath.
does.
Yeah.
He's still wearing his red shirt. Okay. Lily's like, "I'm gonna go dig up dinner and leave you in this embarrassing moment."
Mm-hmm.
So that's when
this is where this is things like this that Lily does. Is this makes me think Rob Zombie's Lily is molded after this one more than anything.
Yes.
Because the way she exits the door, I could just see Sherry exiting a room just exactly like that, you know.
Oh, you just jogged my memory. When I was at that comic shop last week, when I sent you those photos of the Munster figures, they had a Rob Zombie pop figure. I didn't know he had a pop figure.
Yeah, he does. And they just recently dropped Music Maniacs has like well, they did Frankenstein guy, what's his name? Shit. Alice Cooper, Iron Maiden, and then Rob Zombie just had a figure done by them too. And they did Ozzy, of course. Yeah.
Speaking of Frankenstein, anyone who missed it, the new DC reboot that's going on, their version of Frankenstein is supposed to hit sometime in December. So I'm excited. I love DC's Frankenstein.
Oh, the animated one.
Yeah, Creature Commandos.
It'll be this one here.
Yeah. I loved the Agents of Shade comic book. It was so good.
Yeah. Well, I have. Oh, do I not have it out anywhere I can get to it?
He is.
Yeah.
Fling through his background for audio listeners.
Creature Commandos.
Oh, he's got the trade.
Good one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great.
I picked this up like a year ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever it dropped, yeah. Yep. Anyways, continue.
Going back to our earlier conversation, DC has so many good characters, but we are nerding out so much this episode. So Eddie and Grandpa come into the parlor now, the former parlor, the former donut shop. So the business failed. It's not the end of the world. It's not nearly as exciting as that. Grandpa, that is a creepy figure that Myke just put on his desk.
It's an old Campbell's soup thing. And it's like solid thing.
Creepy. That's like what Chucky was based on, I'm telling you.
No, but it's kind of like Balloon Boy. It reminded me a little bit of Balloon Boy.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah. For those who don't know Five Nights at Freddy's, that's a character in that.
Yeah.
Also, a really
Anyways,
good family movie.
it was a good movie. Yeah, we liked it. The
Yeah.
kids liked it.
So
Anyway,
Grandpa tells him he should be grateful for what he has. Herman tells him to be realistic.
mhm.
Is he even what Grandpa had in mind for his daughter? So Grandpa then tells him, look, I'm going to say this. It'll probably be the first time I've said it. It'll
And the only time.
definitely be the last. Lily could have done worse. Not much worse, and then walks off.
Not much worse, but she could have done worse.
Herman asks if Eddie is disappointed in his father, and Eddie's like, no, you tried, and that's more than most people can say.
Yeah. He said the only way I could have been disappointed is if you didn't try.
Yeah.
Which
So
is a heartwarming and an awesome thing. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
So.
they sit down together to eat Herman's lunch, and a car crash happens. Herman is annoyed that it waited till now.
Yeah. I can just hope that my kids are like this with Eddie, like that they at least see that I try different things with my life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that as a parent you should be
Mindful of what they think.
mindful of how your kids are perceiving
Yes.
the things that you're doing. And I like that this is like Herman actually asked Eddie, was like, hey, did I disappoint you? Because I didn't want to disappoint you and stuff. And any kid that's disappointed if their parents have failures in their life is just a little too immature at that point, probably, because failure is a part of life. Things happen in life, you fail, and then you just get back onto it, you know. What are you typing?
Don't worry about it.
Oh no.
So yeah, no, it's a really good point about because a lot of people don't. They try to do their best, but they don't. Like when I was younger, my mom was a single mother. My sister wasn't around yet. I saw how hard, like, she wasn't around. I was by myself a lot. I became independent real young, but I saw how hard she was trying to make things work for the two of us.
Yeah.
I don't know if she noticed that I noticed, but I definitely did, and I appreciate everything that she did.
Right. What's the thing, like my wife, it works a lot too, and I try and always, whenever she's like out of town or something for work and stuff, I always try to reiterate to my kids, I'm like, look, mom's not here right now because she's doing this for you guys. If we didn't have kids, we wouldn't work nearly as much because we wouldn't necessarily need to. And it's not like a burden to put onto your kids either. People don't ever be like, well, I have to do this for you. It's not a burden. It should be something that you're doing just like out of the love from your heart, because you want to give your kids a good life and support them and stuff like that. And I know there are some people out there be like, well, your kids are only young once, you should chase your dreams or become financially stable after they move out, which is kind of retarded to say. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I just I always try to reiterate to them, like, hey, especially when they were younger anyways. Now I don't really need to. They understand more. But like when they were younger, I was always like, yeah, mom's, she goes to work, she does this, and even now when I get questioned about like why I'm not home so much or something, like I sit them down and be like, hey, look, this is what we need. This is what we have to do to live. So they understand that later down the line, maybe, they can choose their path and how they want to go with their life and their careers and stuff like that, and how they want to support their families. I try and remind them, because they're still of that one of I still have like a 10-year-old. He's the youngest, but like, they can still get stuck in that mindset sometimes of, I'm just going to do YouTube for a living. And I'm like, that doesn't work. especially by the time like they get old enough to do it for a job, like a career as an adult. I don't think it's really going to even be a thing anymore. There's so many other outlets, you know.
Mm.
And I think that there's so many false um the information given on the internet as to it's so easy to do this as a career for YouTube or for TikTok or whatever, Instagram models and all that crap. I'm like, these are fake facade. They're a facade of what this actually is, you know. Yes, there are some people that have made it big off of this stuff, but that's a small fraction compared to the amount of people that try.
Mm.
But again, try it. If you're gonna do it and you want to do it, try it. At least get it out of your system,
Yeah.
So
Mm.
I've done several things where I'm just like, I just want to try it. See if I end up liking it, or see if it's what I thought it was in my head,
I mean, it
as a
led you
business.
to doing this with me, so
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
going to complain.
Well, I had multiple YouTube channels before in the past too, but that I've already like done deleted and everything. But like when I first started YouTube, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. This is fun." And I didn't even think about making money off of YouTube back in the day either. So,
Well, for a
since
long time you couldn't.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
they didn't start monetization until what, like 2012, maybe?
something like that, probably. Yeah, yeah.
After
At least
Google
for
got it.
right, at least for like the basic, yeah, guys and stuff. But like, I
Mm.
even I even tried and dabbled in like other forms, not just media jobs, even though that's where my basis is in media. But I've done other stuff too and just tried it out and been like, hey, maybe I could do this. I mean, great. You saw I built a house, Tivis. Come on.
You did. You did.
It was
And then you
fun.
nearly broke your arm off.
Yeah. I could do that just walking around the house though.
It's true. You had a slash on your back and you don't remember why.
No clue where it came from. But yeah, just as I would like to remind my kids, I like to remind parents and adults as well, try things out. What's the worst that can happen? You fail at it and then you just
Mhm.
recoup from it. We only are on this planet once. We
Or
That's
maybe
it.
you find something that's just fun to do, like using a celebrity, for example, even though there's
Mhm.
tons of other better
Yeah.
ones. Donald Faison, he does those shorts, stop motion with this toys for Star
Mhm.
Wars.
Yeah.
Dude is not known for that. He's known for being an actor. He does it for
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. 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 And again, too, like I don't want to make people think that I'm focusing strictly on media content either.
Oh no, no,
Like,
no, no.
like anything. I'm talking anything because I dive in, as Tivis previously stated. I, I have my hands in lots of different things.
Mhm. You know
So
people who have tried to write their own role playing, game systems and stuff. So,
yes.
whatever is cathartic, and maybe you can make money off of it. Who
Mhm.
knows? Just do it.
Yeah. 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 I'm not good at doing custom action figures, but I still like doing it.
I wouldn't say you're not good. I've seen the stuff you make.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
All right,
point
let's get back
is
to this.
try things out in the world, people.
Hmm.
Except for murder. You don't try that.
No, or other illegal things. Don't
Yeah.
don't don't do illegal shit.
Anyways,
So back
guys.
home, Grandpa's asleep in his chair. Herman's sitting in the back near the mummy. Well, between the mummy and the organ, really.
Yeah. And this is
Lily
where we
is.
get the line that really made me think of Rob's movie.
uh,
Hermikins.
yeah, Lily's trying to cheer him up. There's a new Friday the 13th movie playing at the mini mall. And I looked, I couldn't find anything in 1990, but the series did start that year.
Yeah, the TV show was on in the 90s. There were no movies. There was a movie in 1989 that had come out. So
So
depending
maybe
on
they're
when
referencing
they
that.
yeah, depending on when they shot this
And they kept stuff in theaters a
yeah.
lot longer back then.
Right. Well, not horror movies really, to be honest.
Well, I mean, Herman loves his comedies, so
Yeah.
so is it really a horror movie? Uh,
Yeah.
so
And it just depends on too the type of theater. Maybe it was one of those theaters that played older movies too.
could be, even though it's not that old.
Well, I mean,
Or like
like the
the Mommy Indoor, they get stuff like months after it leaves regular
yeah,
theaters.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
I
meant.
got you.
Like
That's
it's
where I saw
not
Iron Man 2.
right. It's not affecting their main box office numbers, but it's going to still like be in
Mhm.
theaters, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So Herman is too embarrassed to leave the house. He doesn't know how Nixon does it.
which is kind of sad. Like, so in my synopsis, I wrote that, like, you know, there's some awesome points and cringeworthy points of Herman's whole thing in this, his quest.
Mhm.
And this is one of the things that I'm kind of like, okay, we just had this somber, nice moment between him and Eddie and stuff like that. But then we come back to this, and it's like he's just still a depressed.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Like, I
have you?
get it. I get it. You know,
Yeah.
it does take time to get over something like that, especially because he's out of a job and he just lost his business and everything. I
Mhm.
understand that. But at the same time, like sitcom type stuff, it would have been done and over with, you know,
Yeah,
after that somber time. So maybe they're flipping the script a little bit on what we know the sitcoms do. So
maybe. Yeah. So
we'll
the
see.
doorbell rings. Who is it, Mike?
It's Mr. Goodbury.
Yes. And Herman comes over. Lily is the one who answered the door. Herman and Grandpa come over after Grandpa wakes up. Um, He's there to give his condolences to Herman, and Herman's like, a card would have been fine. And then he tries to walk away. He's like, I suppose you'll be looking for a new job. And Herman's like, I'm not begging for my old job. But then Grandpa yanks him aside. He's like, don't be so rash. You got debts, a wife, a family, and me. Are you asking me to beg? On your hands and knees.
Yeah.
Herman goes back to Goodberry, and he can't seem to bring himself to say, he wants his job back. And
Yeah.
Goodberry's like, relax and grovel. This
He's a
guy
real
sucks.
dick here, man. Like,
Herman then has a thought. Why are you always around? And Goodberry's like, because I'm a reprehensible, vindictive, bitter man. And Herman's like, no, I know that, but you're also cheap. Why are you spending the time following me around so much?
oh,
What's your angle, Goodberry? No angle. Now, do you want your job or not? I'm not so sure I do. And so Goodberry tells him not to push his luck. So Herman's like, you know what? I made you what you are today, Herman. And Herman's like, I'm an unemployed owner of a 5-foot donut. It's like, what that make you? I'm like,
so does he own the spot then?
Maybe, or he stole it. But it's such a great burn because it's like, I'm at my lowest point. I don't care anymore.
Right.
He's like, it's now or never. Never, Goodberry. So the dick storms off, which is literally what I wrote.
Which I was proud of Herman in this moment because he stood up for what he truly felt and believed in.
Mhm.
There's a lot of mixture of emotions in this episode with Herman and the job and supporting family and all that stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah.
Honestly, I've also are we ever going to see the I know we've seen the cast lists on IMDb, but they're not always reliable. So I'm wondering if maybe we might see an episode where all three of these guys are together ever.
In the last episode when they fire Herman for good.
Yeah. Get our Roseanne moment. So the door knocks again, and it's Goodberry. He comes back in, and he's more somber this time. Look, Munster, the night crew doesn't know what they're doing without you. Yesterday they buried a tree. I lost it at this line. I don't know why that made me so funny or made me laugh so much, but I did. It's cracking me up thinking about it. And then he goes on, and planted a person. I didn't find that one as funny, but the fact they put a tree in a coffin and in the ground, I'm like, how no wonder Herman is like how he is. He deals with these people all day or all night.
Right.
All right. So Herman
Which
can't turn him down.
when did Herman get put on the night crew?
Maybe after the fiasco with Gateman's son.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So yeah, Herman's like, I can't turn you down. Let's shake on it. And Goodberry's look. To show you the kind of person I am, I'll reinstate your dental plan next December because I'm still a vindictive a-hole. Herman then throws his fist up in a Breakfast Club moment, and we get our last scene
With Herman and Grandpa.
Yeah.
Lily even didn't really have a whole lot to do in this episode, man.
No, this is a very classic Grandpa and Herman episode.
Which is like, yeah, we'll get into it. Okay.
Yeah. So Grandpa tells him, you gave it your best shot. And Herman, did you really mean what you said about Lily could have done worse for a husband? Grandpa feigns confusion. I said that? And he sits down on the chair, really pretending to think like, huh. In freeze frame.
Yeah. Grandpa's trying his best to not show that he actually likes Herman in any way still.
I really like how I'll just jump right into my thoughts. I love the Grandpa. Like we've gotten quite a few of them in the last few episodes of him showing that he cares. He really does like Herman. Regardless of how they interact and stuff, that's their thing,
Yeah.
I will echo you. I thought after this is done, I'm like, oh, it's a classic Herman Grandpa episode. I hope we're not falling back into that cycle. Like, please don't push away the rest of the family. I mean, Marilyn's just gone for unexplained reason. Maybe she's on holiday this week. I hope she's on holiday this week. But I really did enjoy this episode. I thought this was a really fun one. I'm glad we finally got the trinity of bosses with Goodberry finishing that off. The actor they got for him was amazing. The dude was intimidating. His voice was so good. Like I was saying at the top of the episode, it's no wonder he went into voice acting. I liked how supportive Lily was of Herman's, trying to go for this dream he's had for years. Because I believe we've even heard in a previous episode of this show that he's been thinking about making his own.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was this show and not the original.
I think it was the Lewis episode, wasn't it?
It may have been.
He had a dream to do it or something.
Yeah. But this was really good. This writer, it's a shame that he didn't come back because I thought he did a really good job with this.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. But the yawns are coming now. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like there's a whole lot to unpack in this episode with the I think we've done a decent amount of it as we've talking through it. But yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed it. It was interesting that there's sound cues in this episode though. They kept doing like somber-ish sound cues, but then they would run a joke right during the sound cue. Like right after. And I was a little confused as to like what are we supposed to be feeling right now? Like what I don't understand what they're because in filmmaking and TV shows and all that stuff, the sound cues for people don't know, they're meant to tell you what you're supposed to feel. That's what they're generally used for. to give you fear or, love or sadness, things like that. And I was confused by some of them because it was like they were doing this sweet, perfect moment between Herman and Lily, which husband and wife, about how like he had a dream, he did his dream, and his dream is literally falling apart right
Yeah.
then and there in front of him. But then as that scene is going on, they had to add in jokes. And I was like, you're kind of taking away from the impact of that. I understand this is sitcom, but sitcoms do have these dramatic moments too. Like that should be allowed to be emphasized and stuff. We did it before in season 1 when Eddie was taking the juice and the steroid stuff. And then he was like heard them talking in the net lockers next door, and we did this somber stuff, and it was a perfect like nice thing. There was no joke gag or anything like that in the middle of it. So when it came time to have a husband and wife like legitimate scene of my husband is like crushed and I can actually say something to him, it's okay, you'll be fine, we'll be fine, we'll get through this, things like that, and that you're proud of him for doing it, and I'm by your side, that we had to take that moment and make a joke with it too. But yeah, I don't mean to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy. When the roles were reversed and it was a Lily thing and Herman was there and being there for his wife, they didn't turn it into a joke in the previous episode that we watched. I don't remember what episode it was. It was a while ago, but I do recall that because I was like, why are they doing this? Is it because it's Herman? Like he's supposed to be more goofy, so you need to have a comedic element? I don't know. But I was happy at least they didn't do that for when Eddie sat down with his dad. Then, Eddie sat down, got to have that good father son moment of, Dad, I'm proud of you, Pop. Like, you didn't disappoint me because you actually tried. You did what you thought you want, or you did what you wanted to do. You tried to do it, and that's what counts. And that as a child, as your son, I am seeing that you tried, and that's the most important thing to me, because that's not only going to make me feel good that my father tried and failed something, so if I try and fail, it's okay too, but also that I should go out and try new things and different things and stuff as a child. I mean, they didn't say all that in this episode, guys, but that's like the gist of it. Like, and I might also be projecting too as a father, as a husband, and as someone who does entrepreneurial stuff all the time. So I know I could be projecting a lot of stuff onto the episode as well.
Well, I mean, that's the point of TV, though.
Yeah.
Is we
I have,
especially sitcoms.
yeah. Oh, especially sitcoms. And like I have the the House of Herman freaking binders for many different things that I'll just recently there's a venture that we are looking into that I had my own like House of Herman type binder. I think I'm going to start naming them House of Herman now.
House of Myke.
No, just House of Herman, just because it's fun and confusing as hell. No one's gonna go into that folder in my house. So
I think it'd be related to this podcast.
Right. So yeah, I've had those folders, those like not necessarily folders, but like a spreadsheet or a document of like how I'm gonna break this down. That way I can take it to my wife and see what she thinks and see what other people think, or investors and things like that and stuff. So yeah. I do think that he should have reached out in this episode and tried to find someone else to help invest in the company with him. and he probably would have been a little bit better. But again,
Yeah.
this is like early 90s. They weren't really talking a whole lot about that because big corporations didn't want people to know how to do that type of stuff. They
Mhm.
wanted you to feel like you were the little ant in the world, and that if you tried to um direct away from the big corporations, that you were going to fail at everything.
Yeah.
And that is one of the cringe things I didn't like about this episode, is they kind of showed that.
I was
And
just thinking as you say that, like how we have stuff today that are subtly getting us used to AI more and more in our daily
yeah,
life.
yeah,
This kind of feels like it was one of those cultural things where, like, hey, don't do an upstart, you'll get your trampled by a big business, which is
right.
kind of true, but you can also be one of those runaway success things.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like the opposite of like a Roseanne episode where, like, you saw Dan is constantly working his butt off,
Hmm.
as a drywaller or whatever he's doing at the time, mostly drywall. I know he did a lot of drywall throughout the show. It- but yeah, so when you see this episode, I couldn't help but think that it felt a little propaganda-ish for the big corporations to be like, you know what? Hey, go out, try it, waste your money, and see what happens, because
Hmm.
it's ultimately going to do that. But also at the same time, we do get the line with Eddie being like, "Hey, at least you tried." And
Yeah.
from Grandpa, I think Grandpa also said, "Where is it in my notes?" Um, where is it?
Oh,
Where
towards
the heck
the
is
end,
it?
yeah.
He
At least
says
you gave it a
something to
go.
him. Yeah, at least you gave it a go. That's what it was. I was trying to figure out what words he said. But yeah, but you do that. But then like um the whole line of from Grandpa about, hey, Herman, and it was very a serious moment too. And this is where I'm like, I agree, but I also, because I was starting to feel like it was more of a propaganda type story
Hmm.
for these things, I was like, oh, this is where we get that, because they were kind of pushing it like, dude, you have a family to take care of. Don't ever try this again. Like, don't ever leave the big corporations again. Be a
Yeah.
slave for the rest of your life, kind of thing. Like, that way you're in position to where you never have to worry about your income or your money or your family and stuff like that, because you have a job. But even then, I always want to remind people, even those big corporations, they can let you go any minute they want.
Oh
There's
no, they don't give a
there's
crap about you.
there's
You can be the most
nothing stopping
loyal
them.
person, vital employee for your entire
Yeah.
time. They think
And,
they
and
could save a buck by getting rid of you. They will.
yeah. And this is why I always look into doing different stuff. Like, I have a job, but then I also have multiple jobs. Like, what? You look confused.
You pulled a pony out of nowhere.
Did you see? I didn't know if you could see that on camera.
Yeah, it was on camera.
Yeah, it was a little My Little Pony. It was like on my desk here. The hair was annoying me because it was like wrapped around its head wrong. Look, I'm a big child, okay? As I'm talking about business crap with everybody. They're like, "Oh, we're not taking advice from that brony."
Probably a good idea. No, I'm kidding.
I'm not a brony
Myke
anyways.
has more experience at this stuff than a lot of people I know. So
Mhm. Yeah. And there's been some big failures, so shit happens. You get back on
you
the
can't
horse.
succeed without failure. So,
Yeah.
like, that is an important thing that a lot of people tend to scare them off. Is, what if this goes wrong? Okay,
Yeah.
it probably will, but what if it doesn't? And even if it does go wrong, you're gonna learn for next time.
Hmm. Well, you learn a lot from making the mistakes. And we actually just rewatched an episode of a show, it's Black Mirror. And in it, it was a episode about like kind of like dating or whatever. And it was kind of the same premise of business. Like, you do these things. Some of them may last longer, some of them may last short term, some of whatever. But every single one that you do, if you don't take something away from it, when you get to that one that really is gonna hold on, you're not gonna that's gonna last for like a little bit too,
Mhm.
like a relationship. Like not everybody needed to, but some people needed to have those experiences in the dating world to understand what type of partner they needed to be before they finally ended on their spouse that they're with forever.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that's for everybody, because I know plenty of people that met their spouses at really young ages and stuff. So, but like me and my wife, we met when we were 15. Ain't no way we would still be together if we started dating then. So, we were only friends. We didn't start dating until we were in our 20s. Yeah. So, which is bad and good because you know everything about each other. But yeah, no, I enjoyed the episode for what it is, but I was starting to feel propaganda-ish a little bit for corporations in ways. I'm sure that everyone else out there, they can interpret this episode completely different. I actually like that. If people out there are able to watch this, or if you're on like our Discord stuff and able to watch this, I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this specific episode, how you feel, how you felt, if you're an entrepreneur yourself or a business person in general, if you work for a big corporation and have ever thought about going outside of that corporation, things like that. Like if you're a parent, too, like how you feel if with the whole Eddie stuff, or as a spouse, to somebody who is like Herman that has tried to do something and possibly failed and stuff. This probably would have been a good one to get like a soundbite from my wife, because I'm sure she could tell everyone, don't listen to this crazy man. But yeah, I would love to hear from everybody out there for sure on this one. You got anything else to say about the episode before we dive into what we're doing next week?
The episode, no, but if you want to give your thoughts on DC comic characters,
Tivis is in the mood to just push everything outside of the Munsters.
No, I am very interested to hear what people have to say about this episode.
Yeah.
And their experiences that are similar to what happens in it. So please, absolutely leave those comments. Leave us a voicemail if you like.
Yeah.
We do read them when they're. I don't want to use the word entertaining because that seems mean, but we appreciate the feedback and the insight into all your different perspectives.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Yeah. All right, so what are we doing next week, dude?
Next week we are Thicker Than Water, which
It's a
I
blood
wonder
episode.
if this is going to be one of those misquoted things. Blood. What is it?
It's thicker than blood.
Yeah. And what's the full quote though?
I'm gonna let you look it up because I don't want to misquote something.
The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which actually means you can have more family ties to people outside the family, but it has somehow turned into stick with the family over other people.
Yeah. There's a famous line. Well, not a famous line. It's a ICP song, an Insane Clown Posse song for people who don't. I mean, I grew up in the Midwest. Come on, give me
That convention I went to and met Jeff at was put on by the Insane Clown Posse. So,
oh yeah,
yeah, Twisted and Blaze specifically.
I don't want to misquote it exactly. So I used to have it actually written on my wall when I was growing up. So it goes, if you wasn't blood, would you still have love? Or in fact, does the blood make you think you have to love? Which is almost the same premise of that quote, the main quote, which is kind of cool. Because I always thought it was kind of cool. Like it's like most people think that you have to love every single person that's in your bloodline, and have love and all that other stuff, whatever. And but like your friends can be your family too. Your friends can be
Absolutely.
closer than family sometimes, not most time, but sometimes. Just depending on you, your personality, your family for sure. So I just had to share that because I doubt I'll probably remember to share it next week if that is the case for this episode. But thicker than water, yeah. I mean, I'm curious to see what that's about because I have absolutely no idea. Because even this episode, we were kind of right when we said mafia because Mr. Goodberry is kind of like the mafia.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I'm going to guess this is going to be an Eddie one. He's
okay.
going to make a friend that is mean to Marilyn, and the family is going to try and convince him that, hey, you got to do something about your friend. They're being a little shit.
What if it's reverse and it's actually
Marilyn
Marilyn
with a
as a
friend who
friend?
picks on Eddie.
Yeah.
I would love that too. Give us a Marilyn episode, please.
Right. Yeah. Let's go with that. Like we think it's somebody has a friend that's picking on someone.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's just like a completely new, maybe it's the werewolf guy coming back because he's part of the family
Lester.
now.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. That would
The
be awesome.
the guy who pretended to be the werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see there's a with these titles, man, it's getting harder to even think about
Oh,
because
they're
like
so vague.
I mean Munstergeist, I had no freaking idea.
This one,
And
it had the title in the episode, which is cool.
this
During
one?
his commercial.
Oh yeah. Tell him Herman Sent You. Dial 899-666. I don't know.
Do not put a number out there because if it goes somewhere, we can get in trouble.
Okay. All right. Any final words for today? Anything that you want to get off your chest before we go? I think we've gone through the gambit today, bro.
We
Like
have. I hope it wasn't too much of a ramble fest for our listeners, but
get over
the
it.
show just continues to give good talking points, just all
Yeah,
around.
definitely.
I'm having so much fun watching the show.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. Where we? This is episode 95, so we got 5 more episodes to episode 100 for us, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind. We're gonna try and do a panel show or something. We have some talks in mind for it, so definitely check that out when it gets a poster or flyer or whatever made to promote it. What?
I saw a shiny thing, but it was just my hair. I had one strand of hair that sticking up that catching the light.
It's the ghost. All right,
I got
dude.
an alfalfa going on.
Last words, my man. Last words.
You
got nothing. All right. With all that said, guys.
Thank you, the listeners.
Yes. Thank you. With all that all said, guys, we will catch y'all next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. Or you can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.